Talk just for 1 minute about Ben Shapiro, because he too is under threat. I know you both very well, and I also really care about Ben.
He's a person, and I didn't want to fight. Well, he obviously is, but I didn't want to fight with him at all. And I said to both of them, I called them the day after or 2 days after Charlie was killed. I don't consider him like the world's greatest force for evil. I don't feel that way at all. I don't actually think about him ever. So I'm not attacking him.
People like Seth Dillon or Ben Shapiro, they get a lot out of wearing bulletproof vests and like, oh, I'm so under attack and all this stuff. And it's like, the truth is they are openly pro-violence.
And so I don't want to have a war with Ben Shapiro. I don't know.
All right, let's talk about Ben Shapiro.
Who?
Ben Shapiro?
I don't even know who that is, actually, like at all.
Tucker, Ben Shapiro?
But isn't that the governor of Pennsylvania?
No, that's Josh Shapiro.
Right.
All right, lastly, what are your thoughts on Ben Shapiro?
I love him.
All right, so clean slate. Everything you said before was just a giant misunderstanding.
That was the demon talking.
Oh my God.
Grace and peace, everybody. We're back. All right, we got to talk about Tucker, Ben Shapiro. This thing is just going to keep going, so we might as well bring it in and talk about it. Recently, Tucker was on Megyn Kelly's panel. They had a good conversation. I just don't think it's consistent. So let's bring it in. Let me see what you think about it.
Talk just for 1 minute about Ben Shapiro, because he too is under threat. I know you both very well, and I also really care about Ben. And you cannot see Ben without 6 armed guards. He said on the Daily Wire not long ago, and I think it was a great line. He said, if they kill Matt Walsh, God forbid, everybody will know who did it, some crazed leftist. He said, if they kill me, it'll be like an Agatha Christie novel, like a mystery, where they won't know. Could be alt-right, could be far left. Like, he's got a lot of haters. And so there was this one brief shining moment after Charlie died where you guys kind of buried the hatchet and you...
I called him. I called him and Mark Levin, who I know well. He's obviously a lunatic, but he's a person. And I didn't want to fight. Well, he obviously is, but I didn't want to fight with him at all. And I said to both of them, I called them the day after or 2 days after Charlie was killed from my backyard because I was really thinking about it and praying about it. And I was like, we agree on a lot, actually. And I'm not that interested in the topic of Israel. I'd be so glad never to hear the name again. I mean, I would be so glad. I would never mention it again. I'm not for more forever wars. Let's just stop that pressure, and I'll never mention it again. I'll never think about it again. You obviously care about it much more than I do. That's fine. But take that off the table, and we agree on a lot. So let's, not attack each other. And they didn't abide by those terms, but that's fine. They were under no
Mark
obligation.
Levin was literally attacking you within days of that. I remember when you had that conversation.
I know.
We talked about
fine.
it. Within days.
That's fine. I don't care what
He's
Mark...
also out there calling me an anti-Semite. I don't even know what... I know at least what the accusations against you are. I have no idea what I did.
Is anyone thinking through the damage this is doing, like downstream? I don't think that Levin... Again, there are things that Levin says that I agree with completely.
Okay,
but
enough about him, because he's truly... I mean, Mark Levin, you're like, oh, Mark Levin's angry again. What a shock. But is there any way that you and Ben Shapiro can actually find your way to détente?
I'm not against Ben Shapiro. He did like a 40-minute thing yesterday calling me dangerous and all this stuff. It's like, I didn't watch it because why? But I got a lot of texts about it, and it's like, I don't think Ben Shapiro is driving a lot of this stuff. I don't consider him like the world's greatest force for evil. I don't feel that way at all. I don't actually think about him ever. So I'm not attacking him.
People like Seth Dillon or Ben Shapiro, they get a lot out of wearing bulletproof vests and like, oh, I'm so under attack and all this stuff. And it's like, the truth is they are openly pro-violence. How in the world could you justify killing tens of thousands of children or justify a pager attack, which is an act of terrorism where you indiscriminately blowing people's genitals off? You don't know who's holding the pager, and you're celebrating it. What are you celebrating? You're celebrating violence. That's where their foreign policy comes from. That's what their worldview is. It's about the thrill that they feel killing their enemies, the godlike power they imagine they have when they extinguish human life. That's the whole game for them. We don't have a right to kill people. We do not have a right to kill the innocent, period. And that's the dividing line between me and Ben Shapiro.
I saw him at Charlie's memorial service backstage. It was totally nice, and he looked a little uncomfortable, but I wasn't uncomfortable. I'm like a lunatic. I was like prattling on and telling obscene jokes and all this stuff, and he was totally nice. A little appalled, but nice. And so I don't want to have a war with Ben Shapiro. I don't know, does he really think that me doing an interview in which I explained that anti-Semitism is wrong to one of the lead purveyors of anti-Semitism, that somehow makes me a Nazi? Like, what is the argument here?
I'm going to ask him tomorrow night.
No, but
I'll have
I don't
him
even
tomorrow night in
understand
Florida.
what the argument is. All I know is that the right, and I've been on the right since before Ben was born, is acting like the left in such an amazingly precise way that I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I tell you this, I'm against that. I was against it when the left did it. I'm against censorship. I'm against identity politics, no matter who does it, period. Because that violates my principles. And I'll never be on board with that. I don't care if my own kids run for office. If they engage in censorship and identity politics, I'm out.
Okay.
If it's all about their tribe, if this is about whose ever tribe, we're done. This has to be about our common Americanness. We're all American citizens. And if our politics is not about that, it can't continue, period.
All right, let's talk about Ben Shapiro.
Who?
Ben Shapiro?
I don't even know who that is, actually, like at all.
Tucker. Ben Shapiro?
Look, isn't that the governor of Pennsylvania?
It's crazy.
No, that's Josh Shapiro.
Right. Oh, Josh Shapiro. Okay. I have no thoughts on the governor of Pennsylvania. I mean, I don't agree with his politics, like at all, actually. And
So your issues just have been with Josh Shapiro?
right.
Okay.
Listen, I'm a man. I'm a Christian. I'm in my 50s, and I mix up names like all the time, like all the time.
So when Ben said you kept ignoring his calls,
Right. Yeah, I thought that was Governor Josh Shapiro calling me to try to raise money for a campaign. I'm like, no,
okay, that makes sense.
I'm not giving money to that. So.
No, of course not. Why would you? This is all just a giant misunderstanding. I love this.
And so I get confused. I mix up names. Even the Fuentes interview. I thought when somebody said we're booking Fuentes, I thought we were interviewing my gardener.
Oh my God, really?
I happen to know a guy Fuentes who does my gardening, and I'm like, okay, I want to talk about my gradiolas and my hydrangeas for an hour. I could do that. I'd love to do that.
Right.
And so back to Ben. I mean, I certainly don't think he's the greatest purveyor of evil at all. Not the greatest. He's a purveyor of evil, but not the greatest. And so I don't think I've ever really said much about him, like at all.
So when you said Shapiro doesn't care about this country and you despise people like that,
That was Josh Shapiro. I think that was Josh Shapiro. And so just to finish the point, because this is important for Americans to hear. I mean, I saw Ben at Charlie's memorial. It was very friendly. It was very nice. And we were backstage together. He was eating hummus, obviously. But, I think he was fine. We were friendly. I mean, he was appalled, and so was I. But we got along just fine. But you know who wasn't there? Josh Shapiro.
I get it now.
So that's my point.
Yeah.
Look, I don't believe in tribes. Period. Okay? Even my own children. I disavow them all the time.
Why?
Because loving my own children, loving my own family before my country, that's tribal. That's genocide.
Well-
I'm an American, okay?
But Tucker,
American.
but your family, I mean, you
You know
love
my children speak bad about America? Bye-bye.
Well, that's patriotic.
And so
That's really America first.
I really believe that. Those are my principles.
Yeah. All right, lastly, what are your thoughts on Ben Shapiro?
I love him.
All right, so clean slate. Everything you said before was just a giant misunderstanding.
That was the demon talking.
Oh my God.
Nick Fuentes has said a long list of very vile things.
Big time, including attacking my dad, which was the most vile of all, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I personally have watched videos of him questioning the Holocaust, likening it to baking cookies in the oven, and there's no way you could have gotten to 6 million, seems to be his theory. He seems to think that we've way overstated the number of Jews killed in the Holocaust. He's ripped on poor Usha Vance in the most offensive terms, which I mean, so what do you say to those people who say, why didn't you raise any of that?
Do your own interview the way that you want to do it.
Wow.
You're not my editor. Buzz off. I mean, I don't know. You want to go yell at Nick Fuentes? I'll give you his cell. Call him and go sit and yell at him and feel virtuous or whatever. That's up to you. I got the same thing with Putin. Why aren't you yelling at him? Okay, why? So I can show that I'm a good person? I care about what my wife thinks, my children think, and God thinks, and that's it. I don't need to prove that I'm a good person to you. You may think I'm a terrible person. Okay, I'm just doing my thing, which is I want to understand what people think. And I'm committed to that. And if you don't like it, don't watch. That's my view.
All right, so that's Tucker on Ben Shapiro or Josh, depends on which one you think it is. But let me know what you think. I really think there needs to be a meeting of the minds. They need to have this conversation offline, truth be told. They need to go ahead and figure this out. And whether that be, arm wrestle, I don't know, something. They need to figure it out. But I do think that there is room for them to grow both sides. However, there's going to have to be some disavowing and separating and such like that. But I want to hear what y'all think. So down in the comments below, give me your 2 cents. Let's go ahead and talk about it. What do you think about how Ben Shapiro and Tucker Carlson are dealing with their issues on the center stage? Are you for it or against it? Do you think it's the right way to deal with it? Do you think there's another way? Let me know. Comment down below. I really appreciate it. Until next time, everybody. Grace and peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the JWhit Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.